Have you ever been in a position where you were away from your office or home and you wanted to find out who's there at the very moment so you could keep an eye on when they came or when they left, or you just want to contact someone who's there right now? Well, I got the perfect solution for you. It's a cheap DIY project that will scan the devices connected to your network at office or home, so you know who's there and who's not. Yes, I know one could easily cheat the system by switching their phone's Wi-Fi off, but hey, this is just a simple, inexpensive weekend project you can work on. It's a simple project which uses a Raspberry Pi. In this tutorial, I assume that you know the basics of setting up your Raspberry Pi with the Raspbian OS. If you want me to make a video on that as well, please don't hesitate to mention it in the comment section below. I've set up my Raspberry Pi with Raspbian and I have SSH'd into the Raspberry Pi by using Ubuntu Bash shell that's present in the latest edition of Windows 10. You can follow along even if you're using macOS or some sort of Linux distro by using the regular terminal, or else you can also do this directly on the Raspberry Pi's terminal without trying to remotely connect to it. So let's get right into the tutorial where I show you how to find out who's at home while you're away. It's best to keep your system up to date, so use this command and update your system. All these commands will be present in the description down below for you guys to copy paste, though I don't recommend that. We're using a tool called opscan to look for devices on the network, so use this command to install the tool. Using opscan-l, we can test if the tool is working or not, since if it is working, it will show you all the devices connected to the network right now. Opscan shows you a bunch of devices connected to your network using their MAC addresses. So if you need to know exactly who's connected to your device, you can't really memorize a device's MAC address. Hence you have to take all the devices your family owns and note down the MAC addresses. A simple Google search should show you how to find the MAC address of the device. There's a caveat though. Many devices, including my OnePlus One, don't appear when they're sleeping. To tackle this, we have a few methods which I'll show you in some time. Okay, now that we're set up to scan for devices, the only thing left is to install the initial state Python streamer so that we can stream who's home and who's not. We want to stream a message every time someone enters or leaves the area to a cloud service and have that service turn our data into a nice dashboard so that we can access it from our laptop or mobile device. The service we use here is Initial State. It's got a nice clean interface and the basic functions are free. So go to this link and register yourself. Since I already have an account, I'm not going to create one now. Now, to install the Initial State Streamer, type this command out from your home directory and wait for the installation to take place. When prompted to automatically get an example script, reply Y if you want to test the streamer out, or you can give N to save some download time. Now to the cool part. First, let's create a new file called home.py using the nano text editor. Next up, inside the file, let's import the important packages we'll be using in this project. Subprocess allows us to make calls like we would in the command line from inside our script. Time lets us wait between actions. Threading is used because we are looking for more than one device, and streamer is the initial state streamer that lets us send data. So we initialize two arrays, one containing the name of the person and the other containing the MAC address of their device. You can edit this array to fit how many ever people or devices you want to track. Next, we use this command to create a stream with bucket name who's at home. Be sure to replace the access key with your initial state access key. Now we'll just use a bunch of counters to help us clearly determine if a device is connected, disconnected, or just sleeping. This is the humble technique we use to overcome the problem I stated earlier with some phones disappearing from the network while they sleep. We define a function called who's home to check for device presence. Okay, so the first command we issue is sleep for half a minute. And that is to ensure the main thread that we're going to write in a few minutes finishes its function. Next, we set up a while loop. We set up a simple if-else condition to check for any keyboard interrupts, that is Ctrl+C or delete key presses on the keyboard. This gives us a method to quit the program if and when we want to. Okay, so here we just simply print the name of the person who is connected to the network. We have a nested if condition now to stream the device is present, to reset the counters we initialized earlier, and to make sure another stream is not sent for another solid 15 minutes. We have an else condition for the nested if. Here we just set counter of that value to 0 because the stream has already been sent, and then we wait for 15 minutes. Now we have an else clause for the outer if condition that checked if a listed device was present. If not, it'll come here where the print statement is executed. Okay, so this next part is just a lot of if-elses with some nesting that a regular programmer must be able to understand, because explaining all the intricate details of this block will be tedious and will make the video unnecessarily long. So I'm just gonna type it all out, and if you have any doubts or if you want it explained, comment down below and I will be glad to help. What we basically do is check to see if device not present has been streamed, but only if the device hasn't showed up on the network in a 15-minute period. This way the device will hopefully be picked up even if it has been sleeping for a little bit. Like, who doesn't unlock their phone every 5 to 10 minutes, right? Next up, we have the main thread. Here we're using some exception handling concepts. If you don't know what that is, do a Google search, or if you want, I can make a video explaining programming concepts such as these. Just leave a comment down below and maybe I'll start a segment. So what we're essentially doing here is, since we have multiple devices, we create a thread for each one. Then we use the global variable output to contain the list of devices on the network that we find out using the ARPScan tool we used in the beginning. Since this is all inside a loop, it's refreshed every 30 seconds. The except keyboard interrupt handles the exception caused when the user wants to exit the program, and hence the value of global variable stop is assigned to the boolean value true. Now save the program and quit the text editor. You can now run the Python script that we just finished writing. The terminal will tell you the devices that are connected, and you can also go over to the initial state dashboard to check out your stream. So you have finally created a dope setup that informs you who's at your home or office by scanning for the devices in the local network and then streaming that data to a cloud service which you can access from anywhere in the world. Be warned though, this is a temporary setup. If your Pi shuts down unexpectedly due to a power outage or something of that sort, you'll have to make a few tweaks to reboot automatically and run the script on boot. If there's a network failure, you'll have to take care of that too. So, if you guys are interested in doing it, please do mention that in the comment section below, and I will make a second part to this mini project to make it a more permanent solution. Hope you guys liked the video. If you want a second part or just more videos like this, then tell me in the comment section below. Like the video if it helped you out, or if you thought this is an interesting project. Dislike it if you think it sucked. Subscribe if you want to see more of my content, and I will see you in my next video.